Get it on the jet sweep to the short side. Up the sideline. Sam McCaffrey. He is gone.
Intercepted. It is intercepted by the Tigers. Stephen Brogan picks it off for LC.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Headed to Week 10, the final Friday of the regular season, along with Tory, Strock. I'm Lynn, Groll, and special guest this week, Maddie Kline of BCSN Sports. Maddie, thank you so much for joining us this week. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was excited to get down here, and I just love the coverage, and you got to love high school football. We've had great weather, knock on wood, so far, so feels good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And feels like fall finally this week.
Yeah.
We're going to get some good weather for football weather at the end of October and into the playoffs next week.
I liked that weather yesterday. I don't only like it cool. I like it a little overcast, a little breezy, misty. Bottle that up.
Might be a little too windy, though, wasn't it?
Oh, bottle that
You
up,
like that?
man. Yeah, I love it.
It scared me out of going to the Browns game, though. Kevin and I were going to go Browns versus Dolphins. We saw the weather. We said, not doing it. So I sat on my couch instead all day and watched football. So, yeah.
I think it at least drizzled most of the day there, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
From watching that on TV. Yeah, probably a good move.
Yeah. They did get the W, though. So, of
did.
course, but there we go.
Have you always been a Browns fan?
I'd say growing up, I didn't watch it very closely. I feel like I would always ask my dad, "Oh, who do you want to win?" and kind of go off that team. But marrying Kevin, diehard Browns, now I'm all in. I am all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. 2012 St. Ursula graduate, correct?
That's correct.
And you were just kind of an average volleyball and basketball player there at St.
Yes.
Ursula. Just won a state championship in your junior year. Went perfect until the state championship game your senior season before falling there. And you were, for the people watching and listening, she was really good. She was all Ohio folks. And I think you averaged over 20 points per game in basketball, right?
That I did,
Okay,
yes. Yep,
okay.
yep.
So
She's humble, man.
She
You're
is.
putting her on the spot.
I know. I'm trying to give her a chance here to brag a little bit. But
Oh, goodness, no. But I'll tell you what, when we won the state championship my junior year, like you said, undefeated all the way senior year, I have yet to watch that game we lost. I'll never watch that game because I was that mad about it. So we lost to Mount Notre Dame.
how many sets did it
4.
go? Oh,
Yeah, it was bad. It was brutal. But what can you do?
yeah. For the people watching and people listening, tell them about yourself. St. Ursula, you went to play in college volleyball at a couple places, right, Maddie?
Yep. So I started my first 2 years. I went to Wheeling, West Virginia, played volleyball for 2 years there, basketball for 1, transferred back home to Toledo, and then played volleyball my last 2 years. Fun fact, I'm from Toledo area. I have 2 older sisters. We all played sports. We actually hit 3 different Catholic high schools up in Toledo. So oldest sister went to Central all 4 years. Middle sister went to Central for 2 of those years and then transferred to Notre Dame. And then I came in and went to St. Ursula. So
Wow.
yeah, we hit them all. And then my dad, he went to Central Catholic. My mom went to Rossford. So
Okay.
we're around that area.
Okay.
But yeah,
And then married a Patrick Henry
yeah,
boy.
of course. Yeah. And it all small world,
Yeah.
So.
Outstanding.
But yeah, I still live up in Perrysburg now, a part of all these football Fridays, get to call volleyball games, basketball games, which is my old stomping ground, so it keeps me around the game. Don't have to worry about coaching, but can still be around in the gym, know the local good players, and it's been fun.
And how did you get connected with BCSN? Was that something that you wanted to do once you got out of college, or how did that happen?
So BCSN started up when my oldest sister, Mallory, I think she might have been a junior or senior in high school, and it had just kind of started coming around the area to the point where I was that little younger sibling that thought it was so cool to be on TV and, holding up little Strall in the background and whatever it might be. But so after that, my family my sisters both played sports and they knew my dad and that type of stuff. And then when I was graduating college, I just got done with my volleyball career, and Tom Cole actually, he would always see my parents at Panera Bread. And one time I was there with my parents and he's like, would you have any interest in calling, volleyball or basketball for BCSN? I think you would be great at it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, something I've never thought about, but I guess I'll give it a try. And if I don't like it, I don't have to keep doing it. And like I said, did 1 or 2 games, you're always a little nervous, right? But once the game's going, it's just bringing you back to your old memories, your old stomping grounds, relaying stories. You love to see the girls, and I do call some boys basketball too, and now football. So it's just kind of it's been great. Like I said, it keeps me busy, keeps me around the sports and in the community. So
what's your favorite sport to cover, if I may ask? You don't even have to answer it.
I would say basketball, honestly.
Is it?
I love volleyball, don't get me wrong. And I do cover Toledo Rockets volleyball games here and there, which is awesome because that is just a whole new, pace and everything. But basketball, there's just something about it. I just think it's so quick. It changes on the fly. When I do get to do some of the boys' games too, it's just so intense. And I love being in the gym in like a closed environment like that, get all hyped up. So,
Yep, I agree with you. It's hard to beat that.
yeah.
What was your favorite sport to play? Because you played basketball and volleyball. Could you pick one?
I got asked that a lot, and I would always say whatever season it was
Okay.
in, which, let's be honest, whatever season still meant I would be at volleyball practice for high school, and then my dad would come in afterwards, and Coach Buck would just shake his head because he'd come in with the basketball, and it would be like, I'm going to shoot, get some reps in, and go that route. But I would say, honestly, whichever one I was playing, I was all about. I played travel volleyball, did the AAU basketball, so kept me busy. Wouldn't change it at all.
So what was your major in college, Maddie?
So my undergrad was actually recreation therapy, which now I work at Marathon Petroleum in Findlay and do nothing of that sorts. But undergrad was that, got my master's degree, and recreation therapy, like the step up, was a grad assistant, taught some college courses there at Toledo. Then I actually worked at a nursing home for my first year out of college. Did that for a while, figured that was not really the route I wanted to go with that, and got my foot in the door at Marathon and have loved it ever since. Wouldn't change a thing. So now I'm in marketing, handle some of like the 7-Eleven stuff. But we're at a Marathon, so I loved seeing that when I pulled up too. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's our new brand and logo, not trying to, but I loved it when I came in.
So do you ever cross paths with Mark Krause down there?
Actually, funny story. He just got a new position at Marathon, and he will sit like a football throw away from me, which he knows Kevin more. I still have
Yeah,
to kind of
sure.
go up and introduce myself to him, but Kevin, my husband, works there too. So we were walking one day at lunch, and he got stopped by someone, and so I'm just sitting there waiting, like, waiting on him per usual, right? Yeah, usually it's not that way, but and I was like, oh, who you're talking to, like up the way, and he's like, oh, that was Mark Krause, and he's coming into our group or close to my floor, in I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we couldn't get Mark on here to pick games, but we did get you.
We're better off.
I think we are, right?
Well,
She's got more personality, a
Yeah.
little more spunk.
Mark was on our football show last week, right? Was
yep.
it last Monday that he was on our
Okay.
football show? So he did make an appearance for that, but he didn't want to do the pick'ems this year.
Okay. Well, I'll give him some crap
Yeah.
then when I see him in the office.
Well,
Once we're on that level.
Make him pick the games this week and see how you do against him.
Actually, funny story. I, of course, brought this to my little team at work, and I have we have a little bet going on. We all did our own picks,
Okay.
and the one that picks the least amount of winners has to buy lunch for us between the three of us. So one went to Coldwater, one went to Liberty Center, and so it's fun. Yeah. So I'm really hoping I win because I'm not trying to buy that Meg salad from both. Justin and Olivia, if you're listening, which they said they would, I'm shouting you out.
That's awesome.
Well, listen, Maddie, don't pick Van Buren over Liberty Benton if you're trying to win this thing, okay?
we may try to help you here.
Yeah,
if you want
I
to
need
win.
that free
if
lunch.
If you make some crazy pick, we'll try to lead you in the right direction if we can.
That's what I need.
And if we make a crazy pick, help us out.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to say she may have to help us out.
Yeah.
Although, what's on the line for this besides bragging rights? I guess we didn't talk
bragging
about this
rights.
before.
Bragging
Yeah.
rights.
Okay, fine,
Usually we have a pack of cheddar brats that they have here at
Oh.
American Freedom Energy out there in their cooler.
Okay.
We like the cheddar brats from Pettysville Meats and Sattler Family Meats here in Napoleon. So that's usually what is on the line.
That's what we wager.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Where would you go for lunch? Some questions are more important, and we like to talk about food on the Black Swamp football shows.
Well-
so if you win this, where would you pick in Findlay for lunch?
It's called Rosilli's, and on Mondays, it's $1 off the Meg salad, which is the best salad in the area. So that's what we're betting on, Meg salads. It's like, it's your basic, you got slices of ham. You got a little bit of hard-boiled eggs, some shaved broccoli, the poppy seed dressing, but it's the best.
Ooh, poppy seed? Ooh.
But it's homemade. It's homemade poppy seed
Can't
dressing.
go with poppy seed, Maddie. That's like him, and he doesn't put condiments on any of his food items. Hamburger,
No.
hot dog.
What about French fries?
No.
No ketchup dipper.
Never in my life.
When you go to the baseball games and it's, ketchup versus mustard versus, you're not even picking.
Give me a plain dog.
You just get the dog out there running.
Plain dog. Plain dog. I won't root for one that has a condiment on it. That's how anti-condiment I am.
I'm team ketchup. What are you?
Mustard. Ketchup on a hot dog?
God,
No.
mustard? No.
Come on, Maddie. Come on. Now, if you splurge a little bit on a game day, you're watching the Buckeyes or the Browns, what are you and Kevin going with at the Kline household?
Okay, well, Browns games, I always go and get some select cheese from Walt Churchill's up by our house, and it's like some pepper jack Gouda, smoked Gouda, and then we get these little chicken chunks. But usually on a Saturday, if we're watching football all day, usually at one of my sisters', I'm getting Marco's Pizza then for dinner.
Marco's.
Pizza. Okay.
I like Marco's.
Yeah.
You can't beat
What
that.
are you putting on it?
Oh, well, Kevin and I never eat the same thing either. So I'm doing your grilled chicken, banana peppers, tomato, and he's, your meat boy. He's got the sausage. So we're getting 2 different pizzas usually every time.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah, we like talking, Maddie, some things trump football, and this trumps football. We like talking about food and grilling and smoking and
Absolutely.
That's right.
I think our good friend from Columbus Grove is going to go try the hot beef challenge, Coach Strock. Did you see that?
No.
He's going to go for the record of
Geronimo?
11. Geronimo
He is
going to go for the record of 11.
Oh, my goodness. Did he say that on social media
He did.
today?
He did.
How big are these sandwiches?
Just a regular hot beef, just
Okay.
regular size.
Standard. There's about a quarter pound of beef in it.
Okay.
If you didn't watch our Saturday morning Rise and Rewind show, for those people watching and listening now, Enzine's Pub in Defiance has a hot beef challenge. And the winner right now, or the leader, is 10. And this guy was from Detroit, right, Coach Strock?
Oh.
Detroit, yes.
Detroit, he came down. I think the record was 9 before that.
Yeah.
And he said he could have ate 14, but he said, I just want to beat the record and I'll be on my way. So we got 10 down. And he did it in 10 minutes. You have 30 minutes to do it.
Oh.
So I put a wager out there for folks that pay attention to Black Swamp football. If they go and beat the record, they can come here and get 5 packs of cheddar brats or whatever kind of brats they want here at American Freedom Energy. Plus, I will get them a Black Swamp football hoodie.
Oh.
If they beat the record of 10.
Okay.
But you have to beat the record. You can't tie it. You got to do 11 in 30 minutes.
So,
One of our great sponsors, Enzine's Pub in Defiance.
Yep, they're great. And I want to take that challenge, Maddie, because I'd beat 10. Lynn doesn't think I can.
No, you have no chance.
Those who know me personally know I would beat it because it's as much as anything physically, shoving 11 sandwiches down your throat. It's mental. The first 5 or 6, you're going, damn, these are good. 7 through 11, then that comes down to just mental toughness and willpower, which I have. So I could do it. And but if Geronimo breaks it,
I don't think he has Geronimo, you don't have a chance either, buddy.
I don't think so. But he's mentally tough, this guy.
Unless he's like them competitive eaters that are really skinny.
I know.
Some of those guys can really put it
Joey
back.
Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
He'll eat 78 hot dogs, and the dude,
But there's somebody out there in our audience that can beat the record of 10, I think. I think I'm going to have to pony up.
Somebody will get it.
I think they will.
Definitely.
I think they will.
Not myself. That will not be me.
You want to give it a shot,
No,
Maddie,
thank
or
you.
not?
I think I'll pass.
Lynn
on
and
that
I
one,
will split the cost. Well, if you win the challenge, you don't pay.
Okay.
Enzine's Pub
Yeah.
foots the bill if you beat the record.
It's worth the trip. There's a good chance your husband's been there.
I'm sure.
It used to be called Mags. He might recognize it as Mags, but it's an institution, Ensign's Pub.
Yeah. Outstanding place. All right, we got to get to some business here, folks. Going to hand out our rock-solid performance from week number 9, and we have a lot of candidates this week, Coach Strock. Going to take a break and come back and hand out our rock-solid performance from week 9.
Hard-working individuals have been the heart of the Gherkin companies for generations. Together we construct the highways and infrastructure that strengthen our communities. Gherkin is seeking rock-solid performers. We offer generous benefits, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. Want to be part of something big, steady, and stable with room to grow? Whether you're experienced or just starting your career, we encourage you to apply at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Thank you to the Gherkin Companies for being the title sponsor of our podcast again this season, and also the rock solid performance. All right, Coach, from week 9, we have a lot of options in my mind. Give me some of your nominations.
We do, Lynn, but I didn't want to stray too far. I kept my list to 4, but there certainly could have been more. The Clay Eagles and their win over the Whitmer Panthers. I don't know anyone outside of that locker room, and maybe there were some folks in that locker room that weren't sure if they had a chance, but Coach Pennington got it done there in his first year. Huge win, maybe the upset of the year in this area. The Napoleon Wildcats on the road at Don Paul Stadium for the second year in a row get it done. They lost by a touchdown a year ago to Fremont Ross, an absolute defensive slugfest in that game, and then Napoleon had to drive the length of the field in the final quarter and got it done. To me, that's rock solid. Toledo Central Catholic, okay? They almost play possum, it seems, sometimes. And St. Francis and St. John's, they take the bait and think they have a chance, and Central puts their foot down and convincingly rolls St. Francis 40-0 in a game that some folks thought might be a little more competitive. I really like the Columbus Grove Bulldogs this week,
Maybe
Lynn.
foreshadowing here.
Maybe a little foreshadowing, but could I possibly pick the Pirates later on wearing this? We'll see. But Columbus Grove start the season 0-3. All they've done is get better and better. They're playing their best football right now, and they go to Lima Stadium and knock off the undefeated LCC T-Birds. And unbelievable, rock-solid effort for Columbus Grove. My final 2, Lynn, and he has the hammer, Maddie. He has the hammer. My final 2, though, would be Columbus Grove and Napoleon. And I'm good with whatever you decide.
Those were my 2 up top.
Okay.
I would also throw Paulding in there. Wrapped
Ooh,
up
yeah.
their first GMC championship their first conference championship since 1988 with that win over Tenora. But Paulding has already won the rock solid performance. So has Clay this season. I like Central Catholic holding the Knights to 60 yards. That's pretty darn rock solid, right?
Darn right.
24th straight win over St. Francis and the Irish Knight. So Central is they're one of those teams like Liberty Center, Marion Local, who, what are our standards for them? Because they win every week.
I know.
I feel like they need to be a rock solid team, right?
I know.
Now they're having a year where they're a little down compared to past years where they usually go 9-1 or 10-0. But my pick this week is Columbus Grove because they knocked off an undefeated LCC team 33-25, and they're rolling right now. 6 in a row, playing great on every side of the ball. So my pick would be Columbus Grove.
Can't argue with that. It's just unbelievable. They lost some absolute studs to graduation, Kylan Mays and Trenton Barraza, and the list goes on and on. And for them to retool like they have, I think Andy Schaefer and his staff, they've been uber patient. They've been patient. And I think early in the season, the Bluffton's and LCCs and some of those other Northwest Conference teams thought this is the year we get Grove. This is the year we get them. But when you have Trevin Baxter and Landon Best and Brady Basinger and Young Barraza, what's his first name? Gavin. Those guys are saying, hey, it's our turn now.
Well, and then they started 0-3, and then everybody's like, oh, yeah, this is the year we're going to get them.
You got it.
If you read the message boards that are out there, they thought Columbus Grove was in danger of not making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And let alone, there was a couple people that told me they'd only win 2 or 3 games.
Yep.
Well, they got 6 now, and they have another big one this week.
Maybe their most impressive effort of the year was holding Crestview's Braxton Leith to 60-some yards?
Yeah.
We were kind of made a friendly wager on the air, Maddie. Lynn said this kid gets 300 yards a game from Convoy Crestview. He's a stud. And he even had well over 100 against Marion Local. And so Lynn said he'd get 190. I said he'd get 170. Well, Columbus Grove played that clip a few times during the week, and they were lathered up, and they stuffed him. And this kid's he's a hoss.
Yeah, top 5 in the nation in rushing, yardage-wise.
Yeah, he's
had a great year. But congratulations to Andy Schaefer and Columbus Grove, our rock-solid performance from week number 9. Robbie Myers and myself will get down there on Thursday. Coach Schaefer to hand out your awards to you. Always enjoy our trips down to Columbus Grove. Pick'ems last week. Tory 37-5. I was 34-6. Kevin McCann 34-8. And I'm blaming Kevin McCann because he steered me in the wrong direction on a couple of these picks, especially Tenor. I should take that jersey down because I put a lot on the Rams last week, and Paulding sanded them.
I know, Lynn. And as you were doing it as a friend, I thought I'd help you. But we had a guest here. I didn't want to be disrespectful.
Former All-Ohioan at Tenora, and I thought he was going to rev up the Rams or something last week the way he was talking, but
had the opposite effect. It revved up the Panthers.
Yeah.
You knew. Here's the thing, though. You knew better.
I did know better. I was going to pick Paulding, but Kevin started talking,
I know.
bringing me back to when he played, and I'm like, I think they're going to do it. And no, they did not.
Yeah.
So now I'm 6.5 games back of you going into the final week of the season. I have no chance.
Well, I think here's the thing, Lynn, as I'm doing my picks today.
I'm going to have to pick 7 games different. I don't think I can. I don't think it's
you
possible.
can. There's 7 games, I think, that could go either way. I do. Now, are you going to have the courage to pick against what I pick? But it's winnable. There's enough games on this slate that could go either way.
I could go opposite, just try to catch you, but then I'd lose all respect with my listeners and audience out there.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But
I got to be professional here. I got to pick who I think's going to win. I don't need to pick to try to beat you.
But I think there's 8 to 10 games that are 50-50 games.
There probably are, yeah. But so, what are the odds of me getting all those right?
I mean, it's possible.
Oh, it's not happened all year.
It's possible. It's like trying to win an 8-leg parlay. It's hard to do, buddy.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. You've had had like a curse on me or something here the last couple of years. I owned you the first couple of years, and then the last couple of years, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it just took me a little bit. I was in coaching mode, and so I would do everything with my heart instead of my head, and then I would pick teams whose coaches were my buddies, and I'm like, no more Mr. Nice Guy, because that ain't going to get it done. So now I just pick with my head, not my heart. I've lost some friends over it. I'm kidding. Well, maybe I have, but some people take it personal. But I've found my niche, and I feel good about where I'm at. But I'm still not going to get too cocky, because there's some games I don't feel good about on here.
I don't think we'll pick 7 different. I don't think we will.
We might, though.
Maybe we will. I don't think we will, though.
We might.
Coach Dick Cromwell, still the leader of our guest pickers this season.
He set the bar high, Maddie.
38-4 was Coach Dick Cromwell, the former coach at St. Francis.
And Maddie, he had some picks that I wanted to try to help him. Like, no. And he'd win them.
Yeah, he got all of those flyers right.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah, teams that you don't pick them.
And then he likes to rub it in. About once a week we get a text from him where he's out cooking bratwurst or steak.
Enjoying a Pepsi.
Yeah, so he likes to rub it in a little bit, which that's all right, Coach Cromwell.
He earned it.
Yeah, he did.
Tip our cap to you.
He's going down, though, with my picks.
I like it, man.
Yep. You're going to do better than 38-4.
I like, you got some notes. I got
my chicken scratch going. Got my different colored pen, too, like this one.
I like that.
Yeah, old school.
Old school.
I do like that. So Tory is 314-69 for the year. I'm 370 for the year. Going into week 10 here.
So, Maddie, I've picked more games because he's the commissioner of the Northern eight-man conference, and so he doesn't pick those games. Okay. So I have more selections than him.
Yeah, that's why he has a few more. We're going to start this week in the non-conference. Toledo Christian, 5-4, 13th in Region 26. They are at Cory-Rawson, who is 0-9 and eliminated from playoff contention. Toledo Christian can be in the 10 to out range, win or lose this week.
Yep, this one's as easy as they get when you pick them. Cory-Rawson, one of the all-time winningest programs in Ohio history, believe it or not, a storied tradition. but boy, they are just fighting the numbers game every year, and they've fallen on hard times there. Toledo Christian rolls on the road.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yep, I'm going Toledo Christian as well. That's back in my I went to school right across the street at OLPH, so it's close to home as well. So I'm going Toledo Christian.
I got TC as well, and I'd like to see Coach Andrew Skeels and the Eagles get into the postseason in their first year back.
Oh, yeah.
In the 11-man game. That would be great to see for them, and I know they're building towards the future there. Catholic High School League teams in action this week. It's non-conference, though. Central Catholic is hosting Muskegon Mona Shores, who is 5-3. The Irish are 5-4, 8th right now in Region 10. Central Catholic will be in the 3-6 range with a win, 5-11 range with a loss. Sailors running back Tamarion Stewart has committed to the University of Miami of Ohio. Big player there for Muskegon Mona Shores as they go to Cherry Street to take on Greg Dempsey and crew. But I like the Fighting Irish to get into the playoffs at 6-4 and the favorite in Region 10 in my mind.
Maddie, you go ahead and go since you have some family roots there at
Yes.
Central. You go next.
I'm going Central Catholic as well. They just, as we mentioned, a dominant win over St. Francis. I think they really needed that game to really reset as they get closer now into the playoffs. So I'm going Central Catholic at home for sure.
Have you seen the Irish in action this season?
Yep, first game of the year. And fun fact about Central Catholic as well is my nephew is the water boy on the bench. So he's one of the water boys. But my sister also has a tailgate spot. So my family usually goes to a lot of their home games as well.
Okay.
So
What was your impression? We know they struggled a little bit early, but I think anybody would struggle against that schedule, right?
Yes.
What was your early impressions of Central Catholic, even though they were playing elite competition?
I thought that they have all the right tools. It was just trying to get the game plan and really get going. You could see being on the sideline, this team this year, I took last year off, so I didn't get to really see them, but I just feel like they were very well disciplined and locked in. So I think they just needed to play some of that tough competition to really get together. And Coach Dempsey always has them ready to roll when it matters most. And I think when you're going up against tough competition like that, that's the only way you're going to get better and learn how to overcome those losses to see what you need to do to move down the line. So.
Great answer. I agree with you, Maddie. Make it a sweep. I'm not picking against Central on Cherry Street. Give me the Irish.
Okay, clean sweep for all of us. St. Francis, they are at Riverview, Michigan, who is 6-2. First meeting ever between these two programs. St. Francis with a win would be in the 5-9 range next week in the playoffs. A loss, 6 to out. So a loss, small chance that they could be out of the playoffs, but still a chance there. But advantageous for the Knights to pick up the victory on the road at Riverview this week.
Yeah, I did some digging today on Riverview, and they didn't play a year ago, so sometimes you can look at the last couple years, and they didn't play. And not a lot of commonalities between the two. Riverview's got, I think they're like 6-2, maybe?
6-2,
okay.
yes.
6-2,
correct.
yep.
So based on what's at stake for St. Francis, I think Coach Linke is going to take his Knights on the road and get it done. I'm going with St. Francis.
Yeah, me too. I saw St. Francis against St. John's. Tough loss for him, but I think Coach Linke will have his guys ready to go, and just another very respectable coach, and I don't think they're going to mess around. They'll get the win.
Yeah, I think they bounce back from that shellacking they took a week ago against Central Catholic. St. John's Jesuit, they're at home this week at Airport Highway, 4-5, 13th right now in Region 6. U of D Jesuit is 0-8. The Cubs have scored less than 14 points 6 times this season. St. John's Jesuit is in the 9 out range, win or lose this week. Iffy for them.
Well, the good news for the Johnnies is they're going to win. Okay, so they're going to be able to they're going to control what they're able to control, but they're going to need some help. But I like St. John's.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking off of that, going with St. John's as well. Like I mentioned, saw them against St. Francis. Coy Hammock, he's just a really fun player to watch, and I think everybody just kind of jumps on that back.
Yep, I got the Johnnies as well in that matchup. Catholic High School League, as far as the standings go, they play the Prep Bowl this week at Ford Field. The Double A division is Lumen Christi versus Centerline, and then the Central division is Martin Luther King versus Detroit Catholic Central in the Prep Bowl this week this week as our Toledo area teams did not get into the championship round of the Catholic High School League this season. But a nice little showcase they put on at Ford Field for the Prep Bowl each year.
Be some talent on the field with those two programs.
Yeah. Detroit Catholic Central won the varsity division, and then Lumen Christi won the AA division there this season.
Very good.
Also in the non-conference, Waite is at Napoleon. The Wildcats 7-2, fourth right now in Region 14. The Indians' four wins are against teams with a combined 7 victories. Napoleon has won 6 in a row. They're allowing now just 9.3 points per game. Hayden Groll is up over 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. George Eggers, 509 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns. Napoleon has thrown just 75 passes this season, ran the ball 406 times. Napoleon's playoff aspirations, they are in the 2 to 4 range with a win, 3 to 6 with a loss. So looking good for a bye are the Wildcats right now.
Yeah, the question for Napoleon is, or the concern for Napoleon, you want to get out of this healthy, plain and simple. But you're also going to have a bye, so you don't want to be all rusty. You know what I mean? They're going to name their score in this game, period. So you're not going to be tested week 10. You're going to have a bye week 11. And so Coach Swery, the challenge for him, one of the challenges is going to be to stay sharp, keep that edge. But, you know, if you see those kids at school every day like I do, keeping that edge, you know, Hayden Groll, Iggy Corona, Lucas Gherkin, Kelby Parsons, it's not going to be a problem. So Napoleon rolls in this game. They just need to take care of business early, get the big guns out, and rest up for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going Napoleon as well in this one. Great team. Saw them against Maumee on the sideline, and just a lot of players stepping up when Edgars was hurt too. So fun team to watch.
That was a good game,
yeah,
Napoleon Maumee.
Yeah, it was. It was one of my favorite ones so far. It was close. First time that we went to a Napoleon for our game of the week too. So that was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Napoleon Wildcats in that matchup as well. Northern 8-man football this week. As far as the conference goes, there could be a 3-way tie for first. Sandusky, St. Mary Central Catholic, St. Joseph Central Catholic, and Chalker all win this week. There will be a 3-way tie for first place. The 3-way tie is going to be settled. We just voted on this a week ago, did our league members. So the 3-team pod, we're going to put them against each other. No other games count, but when they played each other, their point differential is going to count.
Okay.
Maximum of 30. We don't want teams running up the score, so the maximum of 30, and that's how we did that.
I like that. Not like the movie Friday Night Lights where it came down to the coin flip.
We did discuss a coin flip,
Yeah.
but we felt like there wasn't a lot of competitive spirit in a coin flip. It's all kind of luck. But there was a reference to Friday Night Lights when they met for a coin flip at a truck stop or wherever it was.
Yeah, it was.
Texas,
It
right?
was.
Yeah.
I think that's about as equitable as you can get, you know, head to head. I like the stipulation of 30, though, because I've seen it in AAU tournaments where point differential is a determining factor and teams are winning 95 to 6 and stuff.
And that wasn't a problem with these
No.
3 teams if it gets to that. All those games were relatively pretty close. But obviously I'm not picking the Northern 8 games this week. Waldron, Michigan is at Stryker this week.
I'm going to go with Waldron. These games get me sometimes, Maddie, because the commish doesn't pick.
Yeah.
And I stubbed my toe a few times on these, but I'm going to be 2-0 this week. Give me Waldron.
I'm going opposite. I'm going Stryker.
Okay.
All right.
I like it.
Yep.
Okay. We need some
this is
dissension.
where we needed to split apart here. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Sandusky St. Mary Central Catholic is at Holgate. The Panthers 8-1, 5-1 in the conference. Holgate 4-4, 3-3. Holgate needs a win to keep their playoff aspirations alive in the Northern 8 playoff is 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. Our state championship game will be November 8th at Latonia High School over in Eastern Ohio.
Okay. Maddie, you go first here.
All right. I'm going St. Mary.
Yeah, I don't care if it's 8-man, 11-man. I don't care what it is. There's so much tradition at Sandusky St. Mary. I'm not picking against them. I've got St. Mary.
Okay, both go St. Mary there. We're going to take a break, come back, and talk about the Northern Buckeye Conference slate of games this week. KK Collision is a leader in the auto repair industry that has been servicing Northwest Ohio's auto needs for over 27 years. We offer a fast and reliable repair option that stands above the competition. When your vehicle enters our facility, you can be assured that you have chosen the most technologically advanced repair facility in the area. KK Collision is an automotive body and mechanical shop, as well as both a light and heavy-duty towing service located in Liberty Center. Our towing services cover Northwest Ohio and the surrounding area 24 hours a day. Are you in need of a repair estimate? Visit us anytime during business hours for a free estimate at T556 Ohio 109 on the north side of Liberty Center, or call 888-533-7801 or visit our website at kkcollision.com. The Swanton Welding Company proudly supports our local student athletes and coaches. We're committed to being your local steel fabrication company in Northwest Ohio and building projects across the country. For job opportunities at the Swanton Welding Company, visit www.swantonweld.com or visit them at 407 Zider Way in Swanton. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Remember, Saturday morning we will have Rise and Rewind presented by the Swanton Welding Company. We'll get you all set up for the playoffs coming up next week on Saturday morning. What time we go on this Saturday, Coach?
Lynn, my Saturday is free, so I am flexible.
Okay, we may go a little later so I can do a little more research on the playoff field. If you want to go at 9, if that's okay with you.
9's great. It'll allow me to stay up a little later Friday night and watch whatever the late college game is on. I love it, 9 a.m.
Perfect. Yep, 9 a.m. Rise and Rewind this Saturday morning from American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store. NBC going to start with Eastwood at Maumee. Eastwood comes in at 7-2, 5-1 in the NBC, 10th in Region 18. Maumee 5-4, 4-2, 11th in Region 10. As far as the NBC standings go, Genoa wins the title outright with a win at Lake. Eastwood can get a share with a win over Maumee and a Genoa loss at Lake. That's how the NBC shapes up this week. Eastwood, as far as the playoff picture goes, can be anywhere from 4-10 with a win, 9-12 with a loss, but they are locked into the playoffs. Maumee's, theirs is a little bit cloudier, 8-12 with a win. A loss would put them 11 to out.
Ooh.
So Maumee needs a victory over Eastwood here, which would be a little bit of an upset if the Coach Kartner's crew can pick up the victory here.
I agree with you. Would be considered an upset, but it's doable.
Yes.
This wouldn't be monumental if Maumee could pull the rug out from under them, especially at home, Kazmaier Stadium. Coach Kartner will have them fired up. Playoff berth at stake. I'm going with Eastwood, but they're going to have their hands full. When you get this halftime score, it's going to be tight. Maumee's going to play them tough.
Yeah, I'm going Eastwood as well on this one. Like you mentioned, it was a tough one, especially seeing them at home, knowing that they're going to want to get this win, especially over a tough Eastwood team. But ultimately, I'm taking Eastwood.
Oak Harbor is at Rossford this week. Rossford is 19th in Region 14th. Oak Harbor is 9th in Region 18 at the moment. Rossford's path is pretty tough. They need to win and get a lot of help. They would be best in 11 seed if they were to get in.
Yeah, there's better chance of them getting the help they need than there is them helping themselves. Maddie, I just tell it like it is sometimes, you know. And Oak Harbor's going to roll into Rossford and pick up the win. They're going to name their score in this one.
Yeah, I'm going Oak Harbor as well. Sorry, Mom, Rossford grad, but I'm going Oak Harbor on this one.
Yeah, I like the Rockets in that matchup as well. Speaking of Genoa, who has won 8 in a row since that opening night loss to Archbold, second right now in Region 18. They're at Lake, who was eliminated from playoff contention. Alex Materney, 612 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns so far for the Comets. Miles Mollenauer, 97-154, over 1,300 yards, 16 TDs for Genoa this season, as the Comets, with a win, would be in the 1-3 range. A loss, they would be in the 2-6 range. I don't think they have to worry about a loss this week. I like the Comets to get a bye going into next week for Coach Bill Fisher and crew.
Maddie, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going Genoa as well on this one.
I, too, like Genoa, but Lake even being eliminated from contention. You're playing for pride. If you're a senior, it's the last time you're going to put on that Lake Flyer helmet and uniform at Community Stadium. I mean, it's got to matter. And I expect Lake to come out swinging in this game and be competitive for a half. But Genoa's just got it rolling. They're sky high and confident. I like the comments.
Otsego and Fostoria are meeting up this week at Fostoria. Both teams eliminated from playoff contention. Fostoria winless on the season. Otsego with a win would get to the 500 mark.
Yeah, and I think that's a positive step for Coach Rutherford. He's a realistic guy, and but next year things get a lot better. They've got some outstanding sophomores there at Otsego. They'll be another year stronger, another year more mature, and starting next year, Otsego rolls. They're going to finish the season 5-5. They're going to get a win at Fostoria, and everybody's going to feel good going into the offseason.
Yeah, for this one, I picked Otsego as well. Get that 500, make them 500 there.
Okay. NLL Cardinal division this week. Bowling Green eliminated from playoff contention. They are at Fremont Ross, who is 5-4, 2-1 in the conference, 12th in Region 6. And as far as the Cardinal division goes, it's already sewn up. Nothing to decide here. Napoleon wrapped up the outright title a week ago already as they go into the non-conference this week. Fremont Ross, their playoff aspirations are 7-out with a win and 9-out with a loss. Plenty to play for the Little Giants.
Oh, plenty to play for. They're at home again. We know their defense is stout. No one has slowed down that Napoleon rushing attack to the extreme Fremont Ross did. So we know Ross's defense is pretty good. Thing about Bowling Green, every now and then they surprise you. They're tied at halftime, with Anthony Wayne, and they played somebody else. Well, they played Napoleon tough.
Pretty tough, yeah.
But Fremont Ross will be looking to heal some wounds this week. It's a bad week to be a Bobcat, I think. I like Ross.
Yeah, I picked Fremont Ross as well. Their O-line does a great job, and running backs have stepped up too with a couple key injuries. I had them against Springfield, and they impressed me. A couple big guys there on the line.
I'll take Fremont Ross in that matchup as well. Speaking of Springfield, this week they have Sylvania Southview at home. Both teams are eliminated as we head into the playoff portion of the schedule here in Week 10, but both have no aspirations of getting to Week 11. What can you tell us about Springfield from what you witnessed, Maddie?
I think they had a couple key injuries, right? But you have Logan Goodrick at that quarterback position, and he is just a very fun player to watch. He's the kicker, too. They definitely have the fight. There's a couple players, when I was down on the sideline, they came out at half, and they were not in the game against Fremont Ross. They came out, made it a lot closer there, and I think it was just the energy and the guys believing first-year head coach there. He's also a teacher there, so they're kind of buying into that system more. But I am taking Southview. I think, they're 2-7, but at the same time, they played a really tough schedule. They have a couple injuries as well, but for some reason, I'm going Southview on this one.
That tells me she's pretty sharp.
I was going Springfield.
Yeah, you were getting those vibes, but I'm going Southview here.
Yeah. That Maddie, I'm impressed.
Who are you going with?
Well, this is one of those, to me, 50-50 games on paper. But I thought I'd be the Lone Ranger. I thought for sure you two would both go Springfield, but I like Southview in this game. I like Southview. Coach Hardy's going to have them fired up. It's going to be close, but Southview finds a way to win this. Here's your chance, buddy.
Sam Arredondo to get the program to 500 in his first year. That's who I was going into this show picking, but got to have some respectability here, not get buried by like 10.5 or something.
It would be the largest margin of defeat if I pick up a couple games this week.
That means something to me.
I know it should. It should.
Kevin McCann steered me in the wrong direction a week ago as a guest. I'm not listening to guests anymore. Give me Springfield.
Oh, there we go. There's your first opportunity.
There's my first chance. Let's see. Kevin McCann just kind of ruined it for everybody. It's nothing against you.
It's all right. You know what? I can handle it. Yeah.
Let's shift it over to the NLL Buckeye division. The Buckeye division this week, Perrysburg wins it outright with a win at Whitmer. We'll get to that game here in a little bit. And then Whitmer would earn a share with a victory over Perrysburg. Clay is at Northview. Clay has won their last 5 against Northview going into this one. Clay would be in the 6 to out range with a win and 6 to out with a loss. The win or loss really doesn't clear up a whole lot for the Clay Eagles this week.
Well, the good news is for them, they're going to take care of business, get the win, and then there's going to be a lot of uncontrollables out there for them. They'll just sit back and watch, but they're going to be enjoying a victory Friday night. Give me Clay.
Yeah, give me Clay as well. Coming off that win against Whitmer last week, Clay all the way.
I got Clay as well in that one. Anthony Wayne at Findlay. Here's a good one. AW has won the last 3 against Findlay. Anthony Wayne comes into this one in the 4 to 9 range with a win as far as the playoffs go, and then 5 to out with a loss. Findlay, on the other hand, is looking good. Top 4 with a win, 3 to 5 with a loss are the Trojans. They are 3rd right now in Region 2, and Anthony Wayne is 6th in Region 6 going into this one.
Nice resurgence for Coach Steph Adams and the Findlay Trojans. Really like what they've done. Physical style of football this year. It's rare that I pick against Andy Brungard in the Generals, but I'm going with Findlay at home at Donnell Stadium.
Yeah, this one was a really tough one for me. I kind of went back and forth a little bit here and there, but as you mentioned, Findlay at home. Coach Adams' defense has been great all year. Just multiple players. I mean, going into the season, you didn't think too much about Findlay, and they have really proved people wrong. And I think they're headed in the right direction. These guys are all seeming to click, so I'm going Findlay. And I never really pick against Brungard either, so, this is a big one for me.
He gives me a hard time when I do, Maddie.
I'm going to go Findlay. I'm going to stick with my original plan here. I can't steer too far yet.
That's the right thing to do. I'm telling you as a friend. Anthony Wayne, they just don't have the horses in the stable this year. And use that if you want, Coach Brungard.
And now I'm worried because he's going to use that in the locker room this week, and the Generals will go down there and pick up the win.
And I wouldn't bat a lash if they did. Wouldn't be surprised one bit. They're so well coached, and they still have tough kids.
Yeah, I thought something was interesting talking with him before the game last week, and they just changed their whole style of play, right? They're a run, and he said we're going to be doing things different tonight, and they're throwing the ball more, with people hurt, injuries. Yeah. They got a lot of talented players there in the wide receiver spot, so just trying to throw the ball more. We'll see if, they lost to Perrysburg. We'll see if they keep that same mentality going into Findlay or switch it back, but I think it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Perrysburg Whitmer, the game that you will cover for BCSN this week. Is that your tailgate or whatever you guys call your game of the week, Maddie?
Yep. So that'll be our tailgate game of the week. We'll have, Justin Feldkamp and his tailgate crew there the half hour before, and then Mason, John Gibson, and I will be calling the game. Mason and John will be in the booth, and I'll be on the sideline. So I'm excited for that one. That'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I love games at Whitmer. Great scoreboard. The fans, the environment. I'm down on the sideline. I'm talking to half these people that I'm just meeting for the first time. But the vibes are unreal. And that score, I just get hype walking in there. So
love it. So we're not going to make you pick this game
since
you're covering it for BCSN and turn into the good folks at BCSN. And our good friend Maddie there is they will have the call of that one. Whitmer is 7-2, 3-1, 5th in Region 1. As far as the playoffs go, if they win, they would be the 3 or the 4 seed. So they would get a bye. 5 to 7 seed with a loss. Perrysburg 8-1, 4-0 so far in the Buckeye division. Perrysburg, as far as their playoff aspirations go, would lock up a bye with a win, would be top 4. 5th with a loss. So monumental stakes up for grabs for both teams, not just the conference, but also the playoff picture for each.
One of the, if not the, toughest pick of the week, in my opinion here. You got to be careful comparing scores and things like that. Perrysburg sanded Clay like 48-7. And so if you just look at that on the surface and say, well, Clay beat Whitmer, Perrysburg beat Clay by 42 or 41. I'm taking Perrysburg, right? But you got to be careful because this will be a different Whitmer team this week. I look for them to clean some things up. They're going to be a little salty after last week, and people are doubting them a little bit. Tall order for the Yellow Jackets. I think this is a tough pick, but I'm going with Dirk Connor and Perrysburg. They're going to find a way to get it done. Dirk will have a couple wrinkles up his sleeve, and Perrysburg's going to have a chip on their shoulder going into this one. And their only blemish was to an outstanding 8-1, I believe, Olentangy team. Perrysburg's a real deal. They get it done in a close one.
Perrysburg might be the real deal, but Justin Keller's going to get all those mistakes fixed this week. Have a lot on film to fix. Give me Whitmer.
Here we go.
Going to pick up another one. Another one.
Coach Connor, look at me. Look at me. Get it done. I can't have him closing the gap on me. If you don't get it done, I'll never pick you again. Period.
You've made that threat before, I think, to Dirk.
I mean it now. I mean it. That's the last time.
Whitmer's going to get that running game going and just roll.
They could. They could.
Joey Morales and Jamon Holmes. Big night for the Panthers at home.
Well, they better clean up their penalties. I'll tell you
They
that
will.
right now.
They'll fix those. They'll fix those.
All right. We're going to see.
We'll find out this week.
I like it.
NWCC, as far as the conference goes, North Baltimore has already wrapped up the outright championship. They have Upper Scioto Valley coming to town this week. Upper Scioto Valley is 12th in Region 26. North Baltimore, 2nd in Region 26. And North Baltimore, with a win, would have a bye next week. They would be the 1 to the 3 seed. With a loss, they could drop back to 5 possibly. But the Tigers have been playing well this season and head into the final week 9-0 with a chance to wrap up a perfect regular season.
Yeah, it's going to be a little crisp Friday night, so that ball's not going to be as tacky as it has been with that air attack they like to deploy, but it isn't going to matter. North Baltimore can do it on the ground and in the air. Give me the Fighting Tigers to go undefeated. Wow, what a season.
Yeah, I'm going North Baltimore as well.
I got the Tigers in this one too. Round out the regular season unbeaten and head into the playoffs and see what they can do there. They didn't play a crazy hard schedule. We'll see what they're made of as we get into the postseason. Western Buckeye League, the big one is Walpock at Bath. We will get to that one here in a couple minutes, and that has all the conference aspirations written all over it. Walpock can win the title outright if they win that game. If Bath wins it, the two teams would share it as Walpock heads into that one with 25 straight Western Buckeye League wins under their belt. Going to start, though, with Defiance at Salina. Salina is eliminated. Defiance, if they have any hope of getting into the playoffs, have to win. 10 and out with a win. With a loss, there's a bunch of things that would have to happen for them to still get in, so they need to pick up the victory on the road down in Mercer County.
This is a tough one because Salina's probably out.
They're eliminated.
They're
yes,
eliminated.
They have no chance.
They have no chance. Defiance has a chance. One of the reasons Defiance has a chance is because they beat Napoleon week 1. And think of all the points, second-level points, Napoleon has gobbled up. It's like a game of Pac-Man for Defiance. They're just sitting back. They're the biggest Napoleon fans there is. So is Defiance going to be more motivated and interested than Salina is? That's going to be the question. I don't know what to make of it, but at any rate, I'm going with Salina at home. I'm going to take some heat from my Defiance brethren, but I'm going with Salina at home.
Whoa. You sure you want to do that? Because I have the Bulldogs. Coach Ritt's
Salina's the Bulldogs.
Well, Defiance Bulldogs,
All
buddy.
right.
The Defiance County Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Coach Ritt's going to have them ready to roll.
Yeah.
Playoffs on the line. You know, Jerry Beauty's going to be talking to those guys.
Yep.
They'll be ready to hit the road south and win that game.
Yep. But Salina's going to dig in, and
they're
think
ready for basketball season.
And they might be. They might be, but they got one last hurrah in them. Salina gets it done at home. I'm going to take a beating for that one.
Hey, I'm taking Salina, too, on this one.
Good girl, Maddie.
And I'll tell you why,
Good
too,
girl.
because, like you said, it's their last game. They know it's the last game. These seniors are going to go out and play hard.
Amen.
Yep.
Good pick, Maddie.
I think after that game, I'm 3.5 back. I'm counting.
Okay.
Counting them up here. I got a chance. I do have a chance
So
now.
you're saying
I
there's a
told
chance.
you.
There is.
I told you
I didn't
you
think
had
I
a
had
chance.
any hope, but you're
Yeah.
going out on a limb with some picks this week that A little iffy. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Defiance on the road, with the exception of the Elida game.
What'd they do to Elida?
They won, finally, but they turned the ball over. They're undisciplined. So who's to say that's not going to happen again this week? Prove me wrong, Coach Rittenauer.
He will.
Prove me wrong, buddy.
I'll have a talk with him.
All right.
Some of that staff there at Defiance. Get the Defiance County Bulldogs ready to roll this Friday night. Also in the Western Buckeye League, Elida is at St. Mary's. Elida is 17th in Region 14. St. Mary's is 10th in Region 10. As far as Elida's postseason hopes go, 10 to out with a win. With a loss, they are eliminated from the postseason. St. Mary's, on the other hand, the Rough Riders 5-9 range with a win, 9-12 with a loss. So the Rough Riders end, just depends on the outcome of this game where they are at. But I like St. Mary's to pick up the win in this one.
Yeah, I'm not picking against St. Mary's at home, especially after the way Defiance was able to pound Elida on the ground in the second half a couple weeks ago. I like St. Mary's.
Yeah, mark me down for St. Mary's as well.
Okay, we will do that. Kenton, who is eliminated from the postseason, is at Van Wert this week. The Cougars 15th in Region 14. Van Wert can be anywhere from 11 to out with a win and 12 to out with a loss. So they're going to be at the bottom of the seeding process, in Region 14 is Van Wert. But I think they pick up the win this week. They're going to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, even if Van Wert wins, they're going to have a tough road to get in the playoffs. They're going to need some big-time help. But I don't think that'll deter them. We know Kenton can jump up and bite you with their high-powered offense, but I like Van Wert at home.
Yeah, mark me down for Van Wert as well.
Let me see what Van Wert's seeding percentages are.
I don't think they're great.
1% to get the 12th seed.
Yeah.
1%. Not great.
No.
It's not good at all for Van Wert in that one. Shawnee is at Ottawa Glandorf. Ottawa Glandorf still winless on the season. Shawnee 6-3, 6-2 in the Western Buckeye League, 4th right now in Region 10.
Shawnee will get it done at Ottawa Glandorf. All year long, I thought OG was due to knock somebody off. And most years, you'd pick OG against Shawnee, but this isn't most years. Shawnee's pretty good, and OG's down. Give me Shawnee.
Give me Shawnee as well. Make it 7-3 on the year there.
Shawnee would be 5-8 with a win, 5-9 seed with a loss this week. Thanks to our good friends at Joe Itel and Drew Pastors at Ohio Fantastic 50 for providing information for us. Boy, back in the olden days, you had to crunch all the numbers, and boy, it was crazy hard to figure out all the playoff possibilities. But these guys do a great job with their coverage of high school football in Ohio, and can't thank them enough. I'm gonna take Shawnee in that matchup as well. The big one in the Western Buckeye League is at Lima Bath. Walpock, as I mentioned, 25 straight WBL victories at Bath, who is 8-1, 7-1 in the WBL. Walpock has won the last 14 against the Bath Wildcats. Bath quarterback Zach Welsh, 188 of 269, 2,615 yards, 20 TDs, 1 interception, just like Caleb Moyer from Walpock. Mikey Hale, 792 receiving yards, 17 TDs for Bath. Welch has, rushing yards, 787 rushing yards for Zach Welsh as well. Josiah Clark, 63 snags, 850 yards, 11 touchdowns. Logan Markley, 40 catches, 767 yards, 4 TDs. And then Hale has 60 grabs for 628 yards and is also found the end zone 4 times. Bath averages 41.7 points per game and now averaging 483.3 yards per game. We also saw Walpock this season. Boy, are they loaded. Caleb Moyer, Caden Page, their defense is really good. Maybe Walpock has an edge defensively with the way they play, but my goodness, how do you slow down that Bath attack? They'll snap the ball with 35 on the play clock.
Yep.
Their receiver or whoever runs the ball gets up, hands it to the umpire to mark, and they're off and going again.
Yeah, this is a tough pick, and Bath's offense, as impressed as I've been in the last couple years with an offense, just the fact that Walpock defensively, I think is a little more sound. These teams know each other well. I mean, their alignment, their preparation, they're going to have their kids in position. It's going to come down to who's going to make plays or not. Quarterback, I'd say, if you're given advantages here and there, I'd say quarterback's a wash because they're so close. I'm not saying one's significantly better than the other. Those guys are a wash. Then you look at receivers. Who's got the better receiving core? Maybe Bath. I said receiving core. I didn't say the best receiver. We think that's Page, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But as a core, and then can Bath's defense dig in and get it done? We saw them at times really shine last week. I'm taking the easy way out here. As much as I think Bath has a fighting chance in this game, I'm not picking against Walpock until somebody knocks them off. Give me the Redskins on the road.
Does Bath play with their hair on fire, chance to win their first conference crown since 1999, and just go out there and put up 40, 50 points possibly?
I mean, they could.
I mean, is this going to be a shootout, or are we talking something in the 20s?
On paper, it should be a shootout. On paper, it should be. But teams like Walpock, it's kind of like Central Catholic when St. Francis rolls in. Everybody's going, hey, they have a chance. They have a chance. And it kind of irritates them a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think Walpock's even irritated that folks are giving Bath a chance. But LJ Davenport, this defensive end from Bath, Maddie, 6'4", 270, athleticism of like a safety. I mean, this kid's special. Do guys like him really show up? We'll see, but I'm not picking against Walpock.
I'm going Walpock too.
I am too. I can't pick against them.
No,
I just can't do it.
No.
If Bath had some recent success against them, maybe I would, but I feel like there's a little too much to climb. But that is at home.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to play with a lot of emotion.
Be a nice crowd there, won't there?
Oh, there should be.
Be a big crowd.
I mean, if I was going to one game in our coverage area, this might be it.
I know.
Just because of the two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Are there two better quarterbacks in our coverage area,
Nope.
Coach Strock?
Not
in
even
your
close.
Mind?
No, not even close. That's no disrespect. These two are just a cut above. Wow. They're so similar, too. It's unbelievable how similar they are. You can't hardly sack them. You just can't get to them because they're so agile and such great feet and instinct. They have that clock in their head, and you think you might have a beat on them, and then they just sidestep you or whatever. They're special.
They're so calm and cool, too.
Yep.
You really can't rattle them.
No, you can't.
You get a defender in their face, and it doesn't faze them one bit.
No.
Yeah. Quarterback battle is going to be a great one. That might be the best one in Ohio this Friday night here in week number 10. We're going to take another break, come back, and talk about the BVC this week.
Who says a college degree is the only path to a fulfilling career? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods with or without a degree. Gherkin provides a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. We're looking for rock-solid performers to help build and reinforce the region's infrastructure. Whether you have construction experience or are just starting your career, apply now at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Thank you again to the Gherkin Companies for sponsoring our podcast this season. Move it over to the Blanchard Valley Conference. Liberty Benton has already wrapped up that title there at 7-0, at least a share of it. Now they would have to lose this week on the road at Van Buren, and Leipzig would have to knock off Ada for Leipzig to get a piece of the championship prize there. But probably a kind of a foregone conclusion that LB is going to wrap it up outright this week. They're going to be a heavy favorite at Van Buren, as we'll get to that one here in a couple minutes. Going to start, though, with Ada at Leipzig. The Vikings right now third in Region 26. Ada is 17th in Region 26. Leipzig, as far as their playoff aspirations go, 1 to 5 seed with a win, 3 to 6 with a loss this week.
Yeah, Ada's had a nice year. I mean, they're a game over 500, but Leipzig's rolling. That loss to Liberty Benton's just kind of an outlier because Liberty Benton's done that to everybody, so you can kind of cross that one off. Lipsick's going to get it done at home and turn in a nice regular season.
Yeah, I have Lipsick as well. Make it 9-1 on the season for him.
Yeah. Avery Paris is 56 yards away from 1,000 receiving for Lipsick. He has 9 touchdowns from Mark Kirkendall, who's 127 of 209 this season. Kirkendall has thrown 19 touchdowns. Marquise Williams is tied for second in the BVC with 15 touchdowns overall, but I like the Vikings in that matchup at home over Ada. Pandora Gilboa is at Riverdale. Riverdale is winless and eliminated from postseason hope. PG quarterback Corey Girton had became the all-time leading passer in PG history last week and now has 1,715 yards and 14 touchdowns this season. Chase Meyer has caught 63 passes for 809 yards and 6 touchdowns. Pandora Gilboa, 4-9 range with a win, 4-11 with a loss, but I don't think there's any chance they're going to lose to Riverdale this week. Give me PG.
No, that's the safest bet there is, Lynn. The Rockets roll at Riverdale. Give me Pandora.
Pandora as well.
Okay. Elmwood and Macomb meeting up this week. Both teams eliminated. Elmwood comes in at 1-8, 1-6 in the BVC. Macomb is 4-5 and 3-4. Give me Chris Algie. He'll have a good game plan for this one.
Boy, Chris Algie will have a great game plan, but when's the last time you could say Macomb was eliminated from playoff contention going into Week 10?
Yeah,
boy.
Especially with 12 making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's doesn't happen very often. But, again, a school that size, things ebb and flow sometimes. But I, too, will take Macomb at home.
Make it 3. I'm going Macomb.
Okay. Rounding out the BVC, Liberty Benton looking to wrap up that BVC title outright at Van Buren, who is 6-3, 5-2. 12th in Region 22 are the Black Knights. Liberty Benton with a win could be in the 2-6 range, 4-10 with a loss as they go to Van Buren this week. But I don't see this one staying out of the running clock area like the rest of Liberty Benton's games this season. They're gonna roll again. Seth Elkert set a new state record last week with a catch in 44 straight games. New state record for the Liberty Benton receiver who's headed to Maddie's alma mater, the University of Toledo, next season. He has 44 catches, 867 yards, 16 TDs, 17 touchdowns overall. His twin brother, Zach, has 568 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns. Quarterback Connor Barbara, 89 at 119, 1,508 yards, 23 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions this season. LB has allowed 40 points, picked off 14 passes defensively. The Black Knights have allowed just 164.3 yards per game this season. LB has allowed just a little over 105, and Van Buren leads the Blanchard Valley Conference with 364.7 yards per game. Can they give LB any problems, Coach Strock?
No, they can't. But Van Buren, has turned in a nice season. They have beaten everyone they should beat on their schedule. The only one that maybe they could have that they didn't was Arlington. But Pandora, Gilboa, and Lipsick were just simply better, even though Van Buren had a chance late against Lipsick. But you just look at Liberty Benton's body of work. I mean, there's just there's no chance here. Even at home, Van Buren will have their hands full. Liberty Benton with the running clock again.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a rival working in the Findlay area. I've got coworkers and people that send their kids to LB or Van Buren, so I think that'll be kind of interesting, right? Because it's a little rival between them. But I am going LB. I'm going Liberty Benton.
Yeah, I got Liberty Benton as well. They have a 63% chance to be the 4 seed, just a 5% chance to be the 5 seed. And we mentioned that because Liberty Center is going to be the 1 seed more than likely in Region 18, and you want to avoid them as long as you can. Regional semifinals would be played at Rex Lindgren Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know that you want to roll in here. I think you'd rather have a neutral site game to play the Tigers this season if you can.
Yeah, they've played here. Liberty Benton's played here. They don't want to come back if they can avoid it. But they, you know what, they should be, and I understand how the points work very well. they're a top 4 team for crying out loud, and I sure hope they get that 4 spot, because if they don't, then one of the top 4 teams is going to be left out. But it is what it is.
Yeah, agree with that. Toledo Area Athletic Conference this week. Montpelier is at Eden. This one is a biggie as far as the playoffs go. Whiteford pretty much has the tack sewn up this week. They just need to win against Ottawa Hills. Now Montpelier or Eden with a win and a Whiteford loss would get a piece of the tack title, but I don't know how much of a chance Ottawa Hills has in that one, Coach, right?
You're right,
they'll pick
buddy.
that one. They'll pick that one
Yeah.
here in a second. But Montpelier at Eden this week. Eden would be in the 5 to 10 range with a win, 9 to out with a loss. Montpelier 6 to 10 with a win, 10 to out with a loss. Big one in Williams County for these two.
Yeah, my heart is kind of with the Locos because I love Andy Robinson and what he's building there at Montpelier, but my head is with Eden and that high-flying offense. They may give up a few points, but they're going to score more than enough to win. Kendall Briggle has a big night. Bombers roll.
Yeah, I actually got to see Eden against Whiteford this year, so I'm going with Coach Olwyn there, and I'm going with Eden with the win.
No. Locos.
What?
Locos.
What?
Andy Robinson, come
What
on.
are you- Hey, what are you thinking?
Yes. Montpelier is going to get it done.
Lynn.
Montpelier is going to get it done.
Maddie, he's lost it. Lynn.
I feel like we've been on the same page besides one so far.
We have.
Yeah.
And trust me, by looking at the season standings, you're doing the right thing. But Lynn, what are you doing?
Telling you, I know some things about this matchup. Give me Montpelier.
All right. I can't
They
believe
have to win it. They have to win for their playoff hopes. They
I know.
need it. They're going to get it done.
Oh, my goodness, Lynn.
Andy Robinson is going to get his former mentor,
No, he's
Bob
not.
Olwyn.
Bob Olwyn won't let it happen.
You don't
No.
think he will?
Nope.
He's going to be patrolling that sideline.
But is Eden going to play defense?
No, probably not. They're not going to have to. They're going to outscore them.
Yeah.
Basketball on grass.
Surprise this week right here. Upset special.
Digging
What-
yourself,
What's Eden favored by?
digging yourself
Can
a
you look
deeper
that up
hole.
for me? I'm curious now.
Eden's favored by 11.
Okay, 11. We've seen some games this year where the favored team that was in the 20s and lost.
Oh, for sure, more times than ever before. But this is no
No bomber ball this week.
bomber ball this
No
week.
bomber ball. No, not happening. Ottawa Hills, eliminated from playoff contention, goes up to Whiteford, Michigan to take on Coach Teakin and the Bobcats. Boy, Whiteford going to have a big night with that running crew.
Oh boy, yeah, gonna be a tough night for the Villagers. Whiteford, whew. And looking at some Hillsdale College stats, one of their top receivers, Ruddy. Okay, so they've got one or two Ruddy boys on that Hillsdale roster. And boy, oh boy, this Whiteford machine is impressive. I don't know if you saw him against Eden.
Yep.
That rushing attack, going to be a long night for the Green Bears. Our friend Rob Nepper is going to have to give the Green Bears a pep talk before this game, buddy.
I don't think that will help.
You don't think it'll matter?
No. I think they could have Vince Lombardi give them the pregame talk, and it won't matter in this one.
Let me ask you this. No, I'm not. I'll ask you off the air. That won't sound good. I do have a wager for you, a friendly wager
Oh,
for
you
you.
do? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Okay. Yeah, Whiteford named their score in this one.
Yep. Whiteford as well here. Fun team to watch, and
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
interesting with Pillarelli, right? From Ottawa Hills, then St. Francis. Now he's at Whiteford, going to go up against Ottawa
Yeah.
Hills. So
Yeah,
that'll be.
some storylines there.
Yep.
Will the Green Bears be motivated by
That's
that,
true.
though?
That's
you
true.
know?
Probably will be, but it won't matter. It won't matter. Rocco
All right.
will run wild on
Yeah.
Friday night. What do you think of that stadium up there in Whiteford,
Okay,
Maddie?
that was my first time at the football field. That was pretty awesome.
Pretty sweet.
You're
wasn't it?
back. Now, I didn't bring my bug spray, but one of my camera crew, he had some extra because we were right there. You know, you got the bugs out, but it was pretty awesome. Great.
Yeah.
It was homecoming, so they had the floats, good turnout. I liked the lawn chairs over on the side. It was, and we were joking because you look over and you've got all these young kids, you know, that are at the Friday night games. and they're over there playing catch on the ball fields over there. You just love seeing that because I'm like, oh, I hope that's Carson one day, taking him to a game. And yeah, he can watch, but you really don't start watching until you're a certain age, right? When you're at a football game. Right. So it was a great community there.
And for those listening that don't know, Carson is the 1-year-old, a little over one in the Kline household these days.
That's right. He's crawling all over. He's keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. We're not walking yet, but slowly but surely we're making our way.
Okay, well, comes from good stock. He's probably going to be an athlete.
Right now he looks like an offensive lineman, if I'm being honest. My man is a big boy.
That's all right, though.
Yeah. Just need linemen.
It's all right, though. Need linemen, need fullbacks.
That's right.
Well, some programs do. Some don't use fullbacks anymore. But
yeah. Where's Kevin hoping he's going to play in football?
Well, he really wants him to be a lefty, and he wants him to be a pitcher. So that's what he wants, and then he wants a tight end for football. But, we'll just be happy. Whatever he's happy with, we'll take. But, of course, he's going to be a southpaw. I think he's a southpaw because he's grabbing, trying to eat with his left hand, But he doesn't know at this age, right? But
right.
I think if he could, he'd probably try and keep his right hand behind his back to try and –
That's what I was just going to say. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Rounding out the TAC games we're picking this week, North Central is at Hilltop. Both of these teams eliminated from playoff contention going into week number 10. But the Cadets are going to get the victory.
I, too, have the Hilltop Cadets highlighted here. When you compare these two teams and you look back at the scores, things like that, it's pretty tight in a lot of aspects. But I like the Cadets at home.
Now make it 3. I got the Cadets as well, Hilltop.
Okay. Going to take a break and come back and talk about the Midwest Athletic Conference this week. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store off Route 24 on State Route 109, just south of Liberty Center, now has 88 unleaded fuel and is your one-stop shop for fuel, food, drinks, and much, much more, including locally raised meats and home-baked goods. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store is proud to support Black Swamp Football and is the host of the Black Swamp Football podcast, football show, and Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind. Stop in and see Glenn and Greg today and make American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store a part of your everyday routine. Stop by the Sports Place at Wassee-on-Ace for all your back-to-school shoes and fall sports shoes. We have Under Armour shoes in stock for youth through adults. The Sports Place will keep you and your family in style without breaking your wallet. Also, the Sports Place at Wassee-on-Ace is your new headquarters for sporting goods in Northwest Ohio. Stop in to see our selection of equipment, practice apparel, letterman's jackets, and much, much more. Plus, we offer custom-made t-shirts, embroidery, and other apparel in one convenient location. Visit us at 1495 North Shoup Avenue in Wassee-on. Thank you to the Sports Place at Wassee-on-Ace, title sponsor of our Gamecast this season. We're going to be at Blue Streak Stadium on Friday night for our Gamecast this week as Liberty Center comes to town for the NWAL Championship in that game. We'll get to that game here a little bit later on in our show. Going to move it to the MAC this week. Anna 6-3, 4-3 in the conference. 6th in Region 24 is at Windlass Parkway. Anna quarterback Logan Ziegenbusch over 1,400 yards and over 700 yards rushing. He's accounted for 24 TDs this season. Zebediah Plyman leads Anna in receiving 564 yards and 8 TDs on 47 snags this season. Anna 6 out with a win or loss. A lot of probable positions for the Rockets going into week number 10 in Region 24.
6 out?
6 out is what they are saying.
That's insanity.
Let's see what their seeding probabilities are. 69% for the 6 seed, 24% as the 7, 6% for the 8, and 1% for the 9.
If they win, they're 100% in.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think they're minuscule if they.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really small if they would not make it in.
Yeah, that would be a travesty, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they would if they
they're not going to have to worry about it, though.
No, but if they finished 13th, they'd beat probably the 10 teams directly ahead of them. But hopefully, it doesn't come to that. Oh, yeah. Anna at Parkway, boy, tough season for the Panthers. Thought they might pick up a win or two this year, and not to be. Anna's going to roll in this game.
I'm going Anna, too.
Okay. Don't forget your lead pipe lock this week, folks. You have one circled, Maddie?
I do.
Okay. All right.
I'm kind of between two, but I think I got.
All right.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I want to make sure that you have something listed. Coach Strock, you got a lead pipe lock?
I don't have it circled.
We're getting later in the show here. I just want to make sure.
I know I don't have it circled, but it's one of those things I'll know it when I see it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Rockets all the way around for us this week. Minster is at Fort Recovery. Both teams 5-4. Minster is 4-3 in the MAC. Fort Recovery is 3-4. The Indians 13th in Region 28. Minster is 9th in Region 28. Indians have not won 6 regular season games since 2017 and not finished over 500 in the MAC since that same year. Minster won its last 6 against Fort Recovery and is 24-7 in the playoff era against Fort Recovery. A win would give Minster its 4th straight winning season. Reese Wendell went over 1,000 yards for Fort Recovery a week ago. Minster with a win would be in the 6-11 range as far as seeding goes, 8-12 with a loss, and then Fort Recovery 8-out with a win, 11-out with a loss going into Week 10. This is a big one as far as the playoffs go in Region 28.
You know, every time I've picked against Minster, I've gotten burnt, except with maybe an exception or two. And all weekend, I'm thinking I'll take Minster in this game because my inclination is to pick against them, but when I do, I lose. But I'm going to pick against them. I'm going to go with Fort Recovery at home. I just like Fort Recovery's body of work. Minster's a little too up and down for me. Fort Recovery, even when they've lost, I thought they've been pretty steady. I'll go with Fort Recovery.
Yeah, this one's a little interesting to me because one of my coworkers is from Coldwater, so I was getting the scoop and doing some.
They would know.
Yeah, and this is kind of where we differed as well. She had Minster, I had Fort Recovery, so Fort Recovery, I'm going. Okay. I didn't change my pick after she kind of looked at me like, and I'm like, I'm going with it. So
I want to see where her pick was for Coldwater and Marion Local. We'll get to that here in a couple minutes because that'll be interesting. But Minster gets the win in this matchup.
Yeah.
Going against you two again.
Yeah, that was one of those 50-50 ones. I'm telling you, it'll come down to the fourth quarter, a turnover or whatever, but yeah, this will be a good one.
I love what Wes Winning has done in his first year there at Fort Recovery, but I think Coach Whiting in Minster picks up the win on the road in that one. St. Henry 8-1, 6-1 in the MAC, 3rd in Region 28. They're at Versailles, who was 4-5, 2-5 in the MAC, 14th in Region 20. The Redskins have not won 9 regular season games since 2006 when they last won a state championship. Versailles has lost 4 straight and 5 of 6. The Tigers are actually 4-10 in their last 14 games. And if you remember, they almost knocked off Marion Local a few weeks ago. Started the season 3-0. They have lost by 1 to New Bremen, 1 to Marion Local. Then the outlier was the 28-point loss to Anna, and then they lost by 2 to Minster. The Redskins have allowed just 674 yards rushing this season. Charlie Whirling leads St. Henry with 1,163 yards and 20 touchdowns rushing this season. But St. Henry having a special season. Everybody thinks they're on a collision course with Marion Local in the Region 28 playoffs as we move forward. It would probably be a regional championship. St. Henry looking like they will have a bye, 2-4 with a win, 3-4 with a loss as far as the Region 28 playoffs go. Marion Local 100% locked into the 1 seed. St. Henry 81% to be the 2 seed, 12% as the 3, and then 7% as the 7. Then you have Cincinnati Country Day and Eastern Beaver as the other teams in the top 4 there.
Does Versailles have one last gasp in them?
I think they do. And Versailles 14th right now in Region 20. 8-out with a win, 11-out with a loss, says Joe Ital this week.
I mean, they've got some stakes.
They have the
to play
ability.
for. They
do
do
have the ability. but what's their mindset after losing 4 in a row? They just haven't been the same since that loss to Marion Local.
20-19, they lost that one on a heck of a call.
Where would they be if they won that game?
Oh, my. Would they have won those next 4?
Probably.
Or 3 of the 4, yeah. It's crazy how psychological it can be at this level. I'm going with St. Henry, though, on the road. Not betting against the Skins.
Yeah, I went St. Henry.
Yeah, I got St. Henry, too. Like the way they're playing, and I think they pick up the victory over Versailles, who is in Region 20, Division 5 there. Delphos St. John's this week is at New Bremen. Delphos St. John's eliminated from playoff contention. New Bremen is 8th right now in Region 28. Blue Jays are trying to avoid their third one-win season in the last 7 years. Delphos St. John's has not been over 500 since 2017. Now, they made that long playoff run a year ago, but not been able to get into the postseason this season. As far as New Bremen goes, they're in the 7-12 range with a win and the 8-12 range with a loss going into this week. 16% chance to be the 8 seed, 42% to be the 9, 42% to be the 10, and then 1% as far as the 11 and 12 seeds go. But New Bremen is the victor for me in this one.
No doubt about it. New Bremen at home is my pick.
New Bremen here.
Okay. The big one in the MAC this week, no conference title aspirations on the line for Coldwater. We thought at the beginning of the season this would maybe be the conference championship game. Marion Local can win the conference outright if they win this one. Marion Local leads the series 29-26-1 in the playoff era and have won its last 73 games, have the Flyers the nation's longest winning streak. Coldwater has not lost 4 regular season games since going 4-6 all the way back in, what year do you think it was, Coach Strock? Want to take a guess? Early 90s, mid-90s, 1994, which is also the last time the Cavs have lost 3 MAC games. Marion Local win would give the Flyers their 6th consecutive unbeaten regular season. Marion Local has shut out Coldwater in 2 of the last 3 years. Coldwater last beat Marion Local back in 2018. It was a double overtime game. The Flyers have allowed 746 yards passing, just 650 rushing, and 74 total points. Marion Local has outscored their foes 40-0 in the third quarter and 54-13 in the second half of games this season. Brennan Hess, 85 of 122 passing, over 1,400 yards, 17 TDs. Kiel Nagel, 22 catches, 539 yards, 8 TDs. Braden Mesher, 34 catches, 525 yards, 7 TDs. Camden Eifert, 603 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. Ben Meyer has 528 on the ground, 10 touchdowns for him. Nagel also has returned 3 of 13 punts for scores. He also has a kick return for a score this season. So he's been a problem in the special teams aspect of things. Oliver Hulsman, 6 sacks for Marion Local, and Jacob Muhlenkamp has 5. Braden Mesher has 5 picks for that Marion Local defense. But a winning streak on the line and a outright conference title for Marion Local. Now, if St. Henry wins and Marion Local would lose, those two would share the title.
And that
Give Coldwater a chance?
Yes. I do give the Cavs a chance. I'm not going to pick them. I think you'd have to have some intestinal fortitude to pick against Marion Local here. But, boy, they've lived on the edge. Can Coldwater go into Maria Stein and knock them off? I wouldn't be surprised if this is close through 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, but I'm going with Marion Local.
I went Marion Local as well, and my coworker also went Marion Local.
Okay.
I will not name names, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Coldwater's playoff percentages, we look at them here, 76% chance to be the 5 seed, 9% to be the 2 seed, 8% to be the 4 seed. Those would probably be if they won this week.
Yep.
Which the odds makers not giving them a whole heck of a lot of a chance to pick up the victory this week. But I think Coldwater's got a chance with maybe the way Marion Local has been tested in some games this season. But I think Marion Local, even if it is close, finds a way to win it.
Yeah, their spread, if you look at Fantastic 50, They like Marion local by 18. Okay. And you think, well, but Anna and Versailles and those guys, they're
in the 20s.
Oh, yeah, it was more than 18. So, yeah, Coldwater has.
Maybe not your typical Coldwater team this season.
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
They were a year ago, but you never know in the MAC. It's a tough fight every week in that conference. Green Meadows Conference going to start with Tenora at Edgerton. The Rams took a big hit to their playoff chances a week ago with that loss to Paulding, 17th right now in Region 22, while Edgerton is in Division 7, Region 26. The Bulldogs are 7th there in Region 26. The Bulldogs would be in the 4-9 range with a win, 6 to out with a loss, and then Tenora 12 to out with a win, and if they lose, their odds look like they would be out of the postseason for the Rams going into that one.
Tough pick. This is a tough pick. And all signs point to picking Edgerton at home, but I'm not going to follow the signs. I'm going with the Tenora Rams to spoil things at Edgerton Friday night. Give me the Rambos.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I saw the sign, and I'm going to Edgerton. I'm picking Edgerton.
I think the Rambos are going to get it done. I think Tenora gets the win here.
I do too.
I think they get it done. 28% chance to be the 12th seed for the Rams there in Region 22. But I think they go to Edgerton and pick up the win. I trust the Rams a little bit more. Edgerton has the capability to do it, and they could roll. But I just feel like Tenora's been a little more consistent and been a little more battle tested this season. Wayne Trace is at Ayersville. Both of these teams eliminated from the playoffs. Both are 2-7 and 2-4 in the conference.
Again, another tough pick, 50-50 pick. But I'm going with Ayersville at home to cap off the season with a win. I never know what I'm going to get with Wayne Trace from week to week. They, slug it out with Tenora and Edgerton and those guys, but I'm going with Ayersville. I just feel like the Pilots are going to win it at home.
I got Ayersville. Mark me down.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Pilots too, although I feel like I may be able to pick one up because it's a 50-50 game.
It is a 50-50 game, that's for sure.
Could go either way. Hicksville eliminated from playoff contention. They are at Fairview this week, who is 6th right now in Region 22. William Zedike is just 214 yards away from 3,000 on the year. He has 28 TDs, 4 interceptions. Logan Olinger went over 1,000 yards receiving last week and leads the team with 12 touchdowns. Does Mr. Zedike get over the 3,000-yard mark this season, Coach, with 214 or more?
Yep.
Going to do it?
Mark it down. Be a little chilly, but Zedike thrives in that kind of weather. They roll in Sherwood.
Yeah, I got Fairview. Got a couple family friends that went through there, so I also picked with my heart a little bit, but also my head looking at the matchup here. So yeah.
Fairview a pretty heavy favorite. I'm going to take the Apaches as far as Fairview's playoff outlook looks here going into week number 10. 4-8 with a win, 4-9 with a loss going into this week. Rounding out the GMC, Antwerp is at Paulding. Panthers 9-0, 6-0 can wrap up the GMC title outright with a win. Now, if Antwerp would win that one, Fairview would get into the discussion with a win over Hicksville. Jordan Mans has broken the Paulding High School single-season receiving record, the record previously held by Rob Kessler from the 1988 season, the last time that Paulding went 10-0 when he had 931 yards. Mans has 972 yards this season. His quarterback, Colt Hunt, 113 and 189, 2,115 yards, 27 TDs, only 4 interceptions. Paulding is outscoring their foes 42.2 to 12.8 this season. So give me Paulding. Party like it's 1988 there.
Yeah, they're going to roll in this game. Wouldn't it be interesting if you get a score at the end of the third quarter and it's like 21-21? Antwerp, Coach Hale will get them. I mean, he'll have them at fever pitch, and they're going to come out swinging. But, man, Paulding has just passed every test to date, they're not going to let down. Give me Paulding.
Make it 3. Paulding it is.
Paulding's playoff percentages, 54% to be the 4 seed, 45% to be the 5th seed going into the postseason.
For Paulding, you think they deserve to host?
First round or second?
Or, I'm sorry, you think they deserve a bye? You think they – I understand the points will be what they'll be, but
let me look at the rest of the region here. I think we need a strength of schedule component to this playoff.
we need third-level points is what we need.
Yeah, Bluffton probably played a tougher schedule. Fairview played a tougher schedule. Patrick Henry. If Patrick Henry and Paulding, if I'm being honest, if they played tomorrow, I would pick PH.
Yeah, I would too.
Just knowing what I know. Now, that doesn't maybe mean a whole lot.
No,
I think Paulding would have a chance, but on paper, PH would be a favorite there.
Yep.
But outside of those 3, I don't know about Hopewell Loudon and Margaretta.
Yeah, same.
I think I'd maybe question those 2 at the top as well.
Yeah.
Margaretta is going to be the 1 seed. It looks like 83%. Hopewell Loudon, the 2 seed, 77%. PH has ran into them the last 2 years. Archbold, I like where Archbold is. I think Archbold, if I was putting money on this region, I'd probably put it on Archbold right now. Is where I'd go. I don't know where you would go, but
I'd probably lean Archbold. I would lean Archbold. I felt like that a couple weeks ago, and I still feel that way, although if Patrick Henry's healthy, the Patriots could win this league this region as easily
PH
as anybody.
is right there too.
Yeah.
I think it's those 2, and if Fairview can play enough defense, they have enough weapons offensively, they're going to score. Now, if they have a bad weather night, that hurts them a little bit. Teams like that once you get into November, but we just need a strength of schedule component.
I think we do too.
For sure we do. But Pauldings gets the win for all of us in that one there. Going to take a break, come back and talk about a big one in the Northwest Conference, and then round out this week's podcast with the NWOAL.
High school seniors, uncertain that college is right for you? Concerned about the cost of higher education? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods even without a degree. That's a good living straight out of high school with no tuition debt. Starting pay between recent college grads and those with high school diplomas is closer than you might think. So if you enjoy teamwork, working outdoors, and being part of something meaningful, consider your options at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Ashball Aerial is a fully licensed commercial drone company providing aerial media for commercial, industrial, and agricultural clients throughout Northwest Ohio. Want a different perspective for your events, construction projects, businesses, and more? Call 419-966-3202 or check them out at ashballaerial.com or look us up on Facebook. Reminder, Ashball Aerial now has the deer recovery services with their drones. So if you need to call Trevor, give him a buzz, or text 419-966-3202. He can bring his drone out there and help you locate your deer. And if you mention Black Swamp Football, he'll give you $25 off the price of that. So give Trevor a call or a text, 419-966-3202. All right, big one in the Northwest Conference. Seems like we get to Week 10 every year, and we talk about this one. Bluffton at Columbus Grove. Bluffton leads the all-time series, 50-42-2. Grove is 11-4 versus Bluffton at Clymer Stadium. Columbus Grove is 122-35 at Clymer Stadium since 1997. Columbus Grove has won 18 Northwest Conference championships. The Bulldogs have won or shared 7 of the last 8 NWC titles. Bluffton leads the Northwest Conference in scoring, 42.6 points per game. Grove averages 32.3. Grove is allowing 13.4 points per game. Bluffton allows 18.3. Bluffton quarterback Tate Giesecke, 98-141, 2,037 yards, 31 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's ran for 510 yards, 4 TDs, Top rusher is Parker Lovell, 95 carries, 563 yards, 10 touchdowns. Their top receiver is Kane Wright, 21 grabs, 623 yards, 9 TDs. Grove quarterback Landon Best, 115, 173, 1,456 yards, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Top rusher Brody McClure, 536 yards, 5 trips to pay dirt on 72 lugs. And Trevin Baxter is their top receiver, 710 yards and 8 touchdowns on 52 grabs. Big win for the Northwest Conference Championship. Grove win. They would win it outright. If Bluffton wins, they would get a piece, and LCC could get a piece with a victory as well this week.
It is, in my opinion, psychological for Bluffton when they play against Columbus Grove. I mean, there are years where I thought Bluffton maybe had a slight edge on paper, and they get beat by 4 or 5 touchdowns. So I've made the mistake over the years of picking Bluffton in this game. That isn't going to happen again. And the one game I think you got to look at, and you don't want to compare scores, but the one game that stands out, Convoy Crestview put 34 points up on Bluffton. You know how many they put up on Columbus Grove? 0. They shut them out. That is a litmus test, in my opinion. And Columbus Grove rolls, and not only do they roll, that's my lead pipe lock of the week. Columbus Grove at home. And I'm telling you, I picked Bluffton before. It ain't going to happen again. Grove's going to roll. They're going to be at fever pitch, and they're going to hit Bluffton, and then Bluffton's wheels are going to start turning. Here we go again. Right there.
Not gonna raise the Jolly Roger this year.
Not
Coach
this year,
Strock,
buddy.
Where's your eye patch at? You put that away?
Not this year. That's in storage. Columbus Grove football. Bulldogs get it done. Chance to pick up a game on me.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I'm going Columbus Grove as well. My brother-in-law went to school there, so that's a little in my heart. And like I said, a few coworkers also are from the Columbus Grove area, so I'm going Grove.
It's as simple as this for me. I don't trust Bluffton in this game.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened last year? It was like 35-0 in a blink of an eye.
We didn't
at
even
Bluffton.
We weren't even settled in yet, Lynn.
No.
And it was like in the end of the first quarter, it was over. And it was a highly touted matchup. And Bluffton had some studs, had some speed. If they had Stackhouse back this year, I'd feel a little better about Bluffton's chances. But I'm just telling you right now, Trevin Baxter is going to go bananas. Brady Basinger is going to be knocking dudes into next week. It's just the way it's going to be. And if you're Bluffton and you're going, man, I can't believe they're saying that. Well, then do something about it. You know what I mean? Do something about it.
Yeah.
Because Grove's owned them.
Yeah, Grove has owned them, and I don't see it changing. We were out there at a junior high game when we went down to Columbus Grove a couple weeks ago. Even the Columbus Grove junior high kids were pounding Bluffton.
Yeah, they were.
They can't beat them in anything now, right?
Not even basketball.
Even in basketball, there's been a couple big games the last couple years.
And Bluffton's been better in basketball,
Yes.
and Grove gets them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Last year was the perfect storm for Bluffton.
Yep.
If they were ever going to beat Grove, it was last year, and they couldn't do it. I don't trust them. I'm sorry, Coach Richards. I just don't.
I know. And Coach Richards is a buddy of mine. But you put that stuff aside, Maddie, when you're picking these games.
Yeah, I have Columbus Grove, and that's my lead pipe lock too.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, has there ever been a easier lead pipe lock than Columbus Grove over Bluffton?
No, until it's not.
I don't know what the point spread is, and maybe Bluffton's favored.
Actually, I did not even look at that, Lynn. Where are we at?
Not
here?
that it's going to change my mind.
I'm gonna tell you here because I'm curious now. So I'll be able to find it through this. Columbus Grove, Bluffton. Ooh, okay. Columbus Grove, according to Fantastic 50, win by 2, 55% chance. So this is as even Steven as it gets. Yeah,
They have it tight.
they do.
Yeah, but
I don't think Drew Pasteur factors in psyche.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because if he did, it'd be
what
16.
has Andy Schaefer and that coaching staff done here the last 6 weeks to turn this season around in your mind? And I guess if he could answer that, he'd do it all the time. But what do you think? How would this Columbus Grove staff figured it out as the seasons progress. It seems like every year they do this.
They do, and they are the model of consistency. They stay the course. Even years where they're 10-0, you never see them get too high. You never see them get too low after a loss. So I think one of the key signs of a great leader is consistency.
And they even lost Landon Best, their star quarterback, a year ago in Week 3 against Patrick Henry, and they still figured it out.
Yes, they did. They found the pieces that fit. But consistency. Great leaders are consistent. They're not wishy-washy. They're not up and down. Kids aren't wondering what coach they're going to get today. They get the same version of that staff day in and day out, and that's great leadership. I've seen college coaches that are horribly inconsistent. I can't stand it. They could all learn from Andy Schaefer. And as a result, they just get better. They don't get caught up in the outside noise. They were 3-0, and Andy Schaefer, I guarantee he didn't look at anything and care what anybody was saying. Some coaches get all flustered and bent out of shape. They just kind of build a wall around that program, and nobody's opinion matters outside of it.
I think there was some chirping in Columbus Grove when they were 0-3.
Sure, absolutely. I heard
From what I know. I heard quite a bit. It's kind of tunnel vision.
Yeah, and then here's what happens. Here's what happens if you're Bluffton. The weight of the world is on Jeff Richards and that staff. Now, they may say it's not, but it is. If you've ever been in this situation as a coach, I'm telling you, it's an 800-pound gorilla on your back. And it just, every decision you make during the game, you're thinking, is this, Andy Schaefer has the luxury of just letting his hair down and letting it rip.
Columbus Grove, 41% chance to be the 5 seed. 4 seed, they have an 8% chance. 3 seed, 1%. And they have a 27% chance as the 9 and a 17 to be the 8 seed. But does anybody in Region 26 want to play Columbus Grove? You have LCC at the top, North Baltimore, Lipsick, Mohawk, Gibsonburg, then Columbus Grove, Pandora, Gilboa, Edgerton, Eden, Arlington, Montpelier, Ridgedale. Are they a prohibitive favorite in Region 26, Coach?
Well, I think you've got to look at LCC. I know Columbus Grove knocked them off a week ago, but I would say Grove and LCC, even though Grove's in the 8 spot, they're not the hunted. They're the hunter in the 8 spot. And I'm telling you right now, every single team above them, including LCC, does not want to see Columbus Grove. They just don't.
Especially if Grove wins this one against Bluffton, they'll be flying high with confidence going into the postseason, and maybe they're a team that doesn't want to buy. If you're Columbus Grove, the way you're playing,
that's a
would
good
you
point.
maybe possibly have that mindset if you're the coaching staff there?
It's a great point, Lynn. I think there's something to be said for that, and they just get better and better each week.
Yeah, boy, they definitely have figured it out how to progress as the season goes on. NWAL going to start with Swanton at Wauseon. Both of these teams are eliminated from playoff contention. Swanton 0-9, the longest losing streak in Ohio, goes to Wauseon, who's 1-8 and 1-5 in the NWAL. What do we make of this one?
Wauseon's going to roll at home, and I'm a little disappointed in just talking to some folks over here last week. Doesn't sound like Wauseon competed. Now, it's one thing to compete against Liberty Center. You're probably still going to lose, okay? But it just doesn't sound to me like they competed, and I have a problem with that, okay? Even if you're the underdog, I don't care how big of underdog, you come in and you take the gloves off and you start swinging, and they didn't seem interested in doing that. They'll do that Friday night because it's Swanton coming in. But Wauseon's got to do a little soul searching this week as they prepare for Swanton.
Give me Wauseon as well.
Yeah, I got Wauseon too. And if you look at the NWL standings, the bigger schools are struggling in that league. The Bryans, the Swantons, the Wauseons. Yeah. And then you see the little folks like Patrick Henry, Liberty Center. Now they're Division 5, but they're still smaller than those schools.
Yep. No, absolutely. It's if you'd have told me there was going to be a day and age where Wauseon and Bryan were going to be towards the basement in the NWAL, I wouldn't have believed you. But And it's the modern day, and that's where we're at. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like Wauseon in that matchup as well. Delta goes to Bryan. The Golden Bears are eliminated from playoff contention. Delta right now is 13th in Region 18. They're 11 or out, win or lose, are Mike Vickers' Panthers going into week number 10 here.
Well, any way you cut it, they're going to go on the road. They're going to run the football. I think Bryan will dig in and battle them a little bit, but Delta will end up bludgeoning them, and Panthers win this.
Panthers 11% chance to be the 11 seed and 48% chance to be the 12 seed. They would go to possibly Norwayne, who would be the 5 seed, or Milan Edison, who has a 42% chance to be the 5 seed. But Delta could win a game or two in these playoffs with their style of play.
I like Delta in the playoffs just because, you don't see them, and trying to simulate them and prepare for them in 1 week's hard to do. Delta's going to be a tough out if they make it to the tournament.
I got Delta too in this one.
Yeah, I like Delta in that matchup. Patrick Henry, 7-2, 4-2 in the league. 11th in Region 22 is at Evergreen this week. Patrick Henry's playoff outlook is 4-10 with a win, seed range, 7 to out with a loss at Evergreen this week. Evergreen would be 7 to out with a win, 12 to out with a loss.
Well, Evergreen, I mean, boy.
Can Evergreen hang in there?
No. On paper, they should be able to. I mean, they've turned in a nice season. Where are they at? 6-3 right now. But they have not shown the ability to slug it out with the heavyweights of that league. Until they do, I'm not giving them a chance. I like the Patriots.
Got to go Patriots for myself. PH, I don't know. If I didn't, I'd probably get kicked out of the house.
Yeah, I like Patrick Henry as well. They have a 76% chance to be the 7 seed, 19% chance to be the 8 seed. How would you like to have to face Patrick Henry if you're the top seed there in week number 12?
No.
Possibly Margaretta?
No. I know who my money would be on. I can tell you that right now.
Be on PH?
It'd be on PH.
Yeah.
My money would be on PH against almost everybody in this region.
Yeah, I like Patrick Henry as well in that one. Final game this week. Tory and I calling this, so we're not picking it. Liberty Center at Archbold. This is for the NWAL championship. The winner will take it outright. No other really scenario out there as both of these teams come in at 6-0 in the conference. LC has won their last 33 NWAL games, have not lost since 2021 at Blue Streak Stadium. LC has since beaten Archbold 16-0, 42-14, and 51-0. Archbold's Ryder Ryan, 49 yards away from 1,000 rushing. Aringer Krieger, 30 catches, 366 yards, 3 TDs. Morgan Harris, 955 yards, 9 TDs on 29 grabs. LC has allowed 34 points all season, folks. Outgained their foes 3,678 to 1,656. Caden Kreinbrink, 55 of 83, 952 yards, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, quarterbacking the Tigers. Garrison Cruz, averaging 14.5 yards per carry. 17 rushes, 1,086 yards. 21 of the 75 totes have went for touchdowns. Thomas Moeller is adding 8.3 yards per rush, 658 yards, and 9 TDs for Thomas Moeller. Jackson Lonizak, 16 grabs, 404 yards, 4 TDs, and Cruz has 4 receiving touchdowns as well. And Cruz leads the team with 63 tackles on the season.
Well, the only thing I'll say, since we're not picking it, on paper, most people would say Liberty Center's the favorite. I like Ryder Ryan running the football. Yards on the ground are going to be tough to come by, especially between the tackles against Liberty Center. Archbold, we saw them against Delta. Their perimeter passing games, what makes them go. The bubble screens, the quick screens, slip screens, things like that. in order to have success doing that, you better be able to block on the perimeter. The problem is Liberty Center's corners are uber aggressive, and their safeties will come up and smack you too. So Archbold's best hope is to get the ball in space to their athletes, and then they got to block these Liberty Center DBs who are aggressive. Make those defensive interior guys negate them by playing the game on the perimeter and then using the middle of the field too. I think that's where Archbold can get some chunks in the middle of the field. And David Dominic is one of the best, brightest young coaches there is. He's going to have a great game plan. The elephant in the room is, can Archbold slow down the Liberty Center rushing attack? If they can, they have a puncher's chance in this game, if they can. But Liberty Center's salivating coming into this because their guys are thinking, we're finally going to get to play 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So they're going to be lathered up pretty good.
Can Morgan Harris and Aringer Krager, we've seen Anderson Bentley get loose out of the backfield. Ryder Ryan getting into the passing game too. Can those guys get loose? Morgan Harris, 555 yards. He's kind of their big play threat. Can those guys take the top off? Because I don't know, can you just drive the field 10, 12, 15 plays against this Liberty Center defense before they get you behind the chains or they turn you over?
Yeah,
you almost have to score quick, don't you, against Liberty? Because the longer you're out there, I feel like their defense kind of sinks their teeth into you.
Yeah, that's fair. Against Delta, we saw Archbold just methodically drive the field, but that's because Delta played so soft on the flanks, and Archbold just dinked and dunked them all night. It's going to be a tough night for Anderson Bentley, and I'm going to tell you why. He is going to be in Liberty Center's sights. I'm just telling you, because Liberty Scouting Report's going to have a few key guys circled. Bentley's going to be one of them because he's one of the guys that makes them go. For my money, Morgan Harris, one of the best receivers we've covered this year. I love watching him play football. Krieger also. But they're going to have to get some chunk plays, Lynn, to your point. Slip Ryder Ryan up the seam maybe, you know. But I'm tickled to be calling this one. I'm excited about it. I think Archbold has a chance if they can slow Liberty down. But as I say all the time when you're playing Liberty, the X's and O's don't mean anything unless you're ready here, because it's going to be an absolute heavyweight fight. And if you don't want any of that, none of the scouting report matters. So we'll see if the streaks are locked in mentally.
Archbold young.
Yeah, they're young.
They don't have many seniors. A lot of sophomores out there, especially on the line. Do they have that 2-year advantage that Liberty Center's kids have had in the weight room? How big of a difference is that?
It's a difference. It's a difference. That's why I think they're spinning their wheels if they're going to just try to pound Ryder Ryan in between the tackles.
But you have to run it a little bit. You can't just go out there and throw it 75 times, can you?
No, because
or can you?
No, because then Liberty's going to get more possessions. The game's going to be longer, and you're going to get killed. But I think they've got to throw it more than they run it. But they need to use their passing game needs to just be an extension of their run game. So a 3, 4, 5 yard pass is good. That's like rushing for 3, 4, 5 on first down. But they're going to have to try to run it, but they're going to throw it a lot more than they're going to run it. I'll tell you that.
How many turnovers does Art? Because I think they need to force some turnovers to have a chance.
Yep.
How many do they have to chance? How many do they have to force to have a chance on Friday night? Do they have to get 2?
I was going to say, I hate to say this number because it's a abnormally big number. I think they're going to need 3.
And they have to score on those turnovers.
And they've got to turn them into points. And I'll tell you what else. They get in the red zone, they got to find a way to score. And the problem is Liberty gets tougher. You know, they don't bend a whole lot, but when they do bend, boy, they seldom break as they near the goal line. So the thing about Liberty in years past, you could say, if you're going to get them, you can get them through the air most years against Liberty Center. I don't think that's the case this year. Man, I think Liberty's secondary is really, really good. And but I also think Archbold's got enough talent. Archbold can match Liberty skill-wise. In some areas, I'd give Archbold an advantage if I'm being honest with you. Where few teams can match Liberty is in the trenches. That's why I think Archbold has to play the game on the perimeter.
I haven't asked you this question publicly this season, but is this Liberty Center team better than the last 2?
Okay.
I'm putting you on your spot here a little bit, I know.
Well, you are putting me on the
But
spot.
it's been a question I've heard a lot
Yeah.
in the Liberty Center community. Are
So-
they better than they have been the last 2 years?
So if I'm being honest, I would say no. If I'm being honest, I would say they're not better. Are they maybe as good? You could argue that. Would I say they're better? No. That group last year and even 2 years ago with Zane Zeider and those guys when we watched them play South Range.
3 years
Was
ago.
that 3 years ago?
That would have been
I
3.
liked that team, And then when you had Bockelman and the Cruz triplets, I don't think you could say anybody. Waylon Rentz. Now, Garrison Cruz is a man amongst boys. We know that. But Waylon Rentz, oh, my goodness. No, for me, I wouldn't say they're better. I wouldn't say they're better.
But it's close.
It's close. It's close. But I could not say they're better. I couldn't. Could not.
We haven't heard your lead pipe lock, Maddie, so this must be it.
Hey, what's the spread for this is my question.
It's
here.
going to be bigger
Substantial.
It's going to be bigger than lead pipe lock allows, but you're our guest. So we're going to let you do it. My computer just went slow. I had it. All right, there we go. Oh, Maddie. We're gonna let it ride here, Lynn.
We are?
She's been good.
Are you sure about this?
I'm sure. The line's 25.
Ooh.
The line's 25.
What about Wapak and Bath?
That's allowable, I think.
That would be allowable. I think that would maybe be a little better,
Yeah.
personally.
Okay, I'll take that one. Don't let me down now, all right? And don't give it. I don't want to. I gotta get my fair fight here.
That's true. So
Yeah.
you're going with Wapak.
Yep.
That's your lead pipe lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a
Mark
good
it
one.
down.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll allow that. But Liberty Center.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Liberty Center all the way.
But-
If I had my way, I'd be doing that one. But it is what it is here.
It's crazy in the NWAL how many times. See, Liberty Center and Archbold forever played Week 10 in the season. And then the schedule rotates and things like that. And so to have Liberty Center and Archbold back to Week 10, it's like it's been so many times over the last few decades for all the marbles in the league. And but you're right, Lynn. Archbold's inexperienced, but they say if a dog's going to bite, he's going to bite as a pup. So we'll see if these pups bite.
Do they have some dogs over there?
I think they have a couple. I'll tell you who I like. You know who I like that's going to show up and be a dog in that game for Archbold's that linebacker. I can't think of his last name now.
Max Burrows.
Burrows. What number
I'm in
is
the
he?
pile like Burrow.
22.
22. Max Burrows. He's a tank.
Yeah.
And
5'8", 190.
yes, there you go. 5'8", 190. And you can have all the talent and speed and all the shiny toys you want against Liberty, and that's fine and dandy, but you got to have some dudes that you'd take in a back alley with you. And
right.
Burrows, I'd take him with me.
Yeah.
I'd take him with me.
Yeah. Burrows is going to have to lead that charge.
Yeah, he is.
And I think he can, like you said, I think he can do it. And see how the young streaks do against the Tigers on Friday night. Our Gamecast will start at 6:30 with our pregame show. Kickoff to follow at 7 from Blue Streak Stadium.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait. Rise and Rewind, 9 a.m. Saturday morning. We'll get you all of the playoff picture outlook and where we're headed week 11 and onward as we go through this season.
Maddie Kline, we cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend the evening with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you for
Fun.
being here. We appreciate it. And you will be at Whitmer on Friday Night Big NLL Buckeye Clash.
Yep. Can't wait for that one. That'll be a good one.
Well, look forward to watching your coverage of that one.
Yeah.
Should be a good one. That's a big game for us, too, because I have the Jackets. He
it's-
has the Panthers.
6:30 is the kickoff tailgate, right?
Yes, sir. 6:30.
Perfect.
7 or 7:05 kickoff. So there we go.
Yeah, tune in to BCSN to see Maddie and crew.
That's right. We have a
The
good
call
time.
of that game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Always
Look
enjoy
forward to
your coverage in the BCSN, guys. You guys do a great job
Yes, they
up
do.
there.
Yes, they do.
Fantastic coverage.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
thanks. And I know we love your guys' magazine. We bring it up at our staff meeting and all the time. So
Thank you.
we appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, I
do,
know.
too.
I know some of your guys are usually messaging me in June or July. When is that magazine going to be ready? And then if they can't find it, they're messaging me too.
Well, and I remember the first year I did football, right? That was like the perfect cheat sheet for me because, I paid attention to high school football, but then I really had to get locked in. And Kevin's mom had got it up there in Hamler somewhere. Was it at the gas station?
Yeah, just stop.
Yep, up there. So she's like, I got this for you. And then I think I posted it on Twitter. Next thing you know, I got a bunch of people messaging me, where'd you get that? What is that? And
yeah, I think
every year now,
I
it's
think
like,
you guys
yes.
cleaned out the Wolverine Buckeye shop.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
In Maumee this season because they called me about 2 hours after I dropped them off, and they said, we're down to 2. Somebody came in here and picked up 15. So it had to be the BCSN crew.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Probably was you guys, yeah.
They do a good job, man.
They do fantastic. Well, thank you for your coverage, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, thanks
Best
again.
wishes on the rest of the season, and volleyball and basketball. You're going to stay busy.
Yeah, keeps me busy. Keeps me around sports, in the gym, on the field. I like it. So
Great. Stay tuned. Friday night game cast as we will have Archbold and Liberty Center Saturday morning. Rise and Rewind at 9 a.m. Have a great week and enjoy Week 10 of the high school football season.